Can you keep fish with turtles? If you've owned turtles for any amount of time, you've probably asked yourself this question. This is a question that I have asked and actually tested over the past 8+ years of owning turtles. And these are my findings. What is up, guys? It is the Turtle Girl. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. It is so good to be with all of you today to talk about community turtle tanks. Now, when I say community turtle tank, what do I mean? I basically mean any tank that has more than just a single turtle living in it. I've done videos on this subject before, going through like my top 5 best fish for turtle tanks, talking about other tank mates that you shouldn't do. And today I just wanted to revisit this topic because I wanted to share my personal experience of keeping fish with turtles, what has worked, what has not worked. First off, let's start with this community turtle tank that's actually right behind me. This is a 36-gallon Bowfront aquarium with a musk turtle. I have tried live plants in here, I've tried different fish in here, and as you can see, there's actually been some success. In this tank, I have Bosemani rainbowfish and a school of ember tetras, as well as some otocinclus catfish. Now, let's talk about why that works. The first thing to think about is parameters. All of these fish have very similar water parameters and care requirements to what my turtle does. The pH, the KH, the temperature, all of those are similar to what the musk turtle is being kept at. So this is a heated tank. The musk turtle is being kept at about 70, 75, 76 degrees, which is perfect for tropical aquarium fish, which are the kinds of fish that I have in there. Under the category of parameters, I would also include the caveat that if you're going to have fish in the tank, your tank needs to be able to handle that additional bioload. So with this 36-gallon Bowfront, I have one musk turtle in there. It's running on a canister filter for filtration. And so with all of that and with frequent water changes, I know that all of my fish and my turtle are going to be healthy. So make sure your filtration is sufficient, make sure your tank size is sufficient for the adult size of the fish, by the way, because some of these fish will get a lot bigger than you thought. I have some scissortail rasboras that when I got them, they were maybe like 2 inches. Now they're like 4 inches in this 75-gallon tank, which suits them well. But if they were in any smaller of a tank, it would definitely feel a little cramped. Now, those are all just like the base level standards. The other things to think about are the personality of your turtle, which sounds like such a funny thing to say, but I really mean it. Some turtle species are naturally faster, more inclined to hunt, etc. This is gonna be such a key factor to whether or not fish are going to work with your turtle. I have kept musk turtles, a diamondback terrapin, and a painted turtle, and it has been a vastly different experience for all 3 of those. My musk turtles, I've had the most success with keeping fish. For the most part, they really don't bother them, and they're also not quick enough or aggressive enough to catch them. My painted turtle Nemo, on the other hand, I tried keeping fish with him to some mild success. I believe scissortail rasboras worked for a while, convict cichlids worked for a while, but eventually, he was able to eat them. And my diamondback terrapin, I feel like I haven't even really tried keeping fish with him just because I just know it would end so badly. Anytime I would put fish in there, he would almost always like zone in on them and chase after them. I kept convict cichlids with him for a while, but then the convicts started getting aggressive towards him, and I said, maybe we just leave Hoku on his own and don't worry about trying to make him live in a community tank. I think he actually does best in a tank all by himself. And this is also an important thing to remember. I feel like people always say, hey, I want to get fish because I don't want my turtle to be lonely, or I want to get another turtle because I don't want my turtle to be lonely. For the most part, like in the wild, turtles will get together to breed and maybe bask on a log together, but they are more than happy to have their own space. They aren't gonna be like mammals in that they really need community and are gonna be depressed if they don't have another turtle around. They will be fine. In fact, they're probably happy that they don't have to compete for food, they don't have to compete for resources or swimming space or basking space. They just kind of get to have their own space in themselves. So don't fall into the trap thinking that your turtle is lonely. The other factor is actually the aggressiveness or the temperament of the fish. I say this because going back to the convict cichlid example, particularly when they became parents, when they began to breed, they became severely territorial and would actually start to nip at the turtle, be very aggressive, basically make passes at them, which was just not good. I felt like it was creating more of an environment of stress for the animals, and that is just not a good thing to have. Turtles can actually get seriously injured, believe it or not, from the bullying of certain fish. For example, another example, my musk turtles, when I adopted them, they were blind. I have a whole video about this, but the whole point being that they were blind because they were kept with some aggressive fish. I can't exactly remember, it was like with the previous owner, but the fish actually either sucked or bit or pecked their eyeballs out. Thankfully, it doesn't affect their quality of life now. They can sniff out the food, they eat just fine, but ultimately in some ways that has handicapped them, and that's a situation you want to avoid if possible. So just be aware of the aggressiveness of the fish that you are trying to keep with your turtle. On the positive side, a lot of the more peaceful fish that I've kept have had zero issues. A good example of this are live bears. I've kept platies and swordtails with decent success. All of those have a bit more peaceful of a demeanor. They're not really gonna be aggressive. In fact, they're more of like, okay, if something's chasing me, I'm gonna run away. And so I never really had to worry about those fish fighting back. The great thing about live bears is that they will actually breed, and then if given enough hiding spaces, the fry, the babies, can actually grow up and survive, thus replenishing any fish that actually do get eaten. So that can be another good option. The other primary consideration is the speed of the fish and also the hiding ability of the fish. So let's go over those two categories. For the speed of the fish, obviously, the faster a fish is, the quicker their reaction time, the more likely they'll be able to evade a hungry turtle. So tetras are fast, rainbow fish are super fast, rasboras are super fast, and these are all fish that I think survived for as long as they have because they've been able to evade the turtle. And if they're not good at being fast, then they need to be good at hiding. And I think I would put some algae eaters in this category. I mean, the algae eaters can also be fast, but I also think that because they kind of fit into those small corners that the turtles don't really go, that they also have like a higher chance of survival. So for example, I have had Siamese algae eaters or Chinese algae eaters. I'm honestly not sure. People have said that I've ID'd them wrong before, but some kind of algae eater, some kind of sucker fish, for the longest time in my 75-gallon musk turtle tank, which also formerly housed a painted turtle, my aggressive painted turtle, Nemo. They've been in that tank for at least 4 years at this point. And I think that was partially because, one, they're fast, but two, because they were always hiding in those little nooks and crannies and they're just thriving. So that's another fish that worked really well for me. The autosynclus as well in this tank. These are great because they like to graze on the algae that often likes to grow in my tanks, and these autosynclus have done amazing in this tank. That being said, I tried to keep autosynclus with my painted turtle Nemo at one point, and they totally got eaten. So again, it depends on the personality of your turtle. It's gonna be different for everybody. It takes some trial and error. So I wish you the best of luck, and the final thought I'll leave you with is just know that any fish you put in a turtle tank, you just have to be prepared for it to be a snack. Thanks so much for watching, and have a totally awesome day. Bye.